People thought she was dancing until she took a step and sat by the window, gazing at the men inside the room who had once humiliated her. She gave a meaningful smile. Then came a loud crash from her free fall. The girl ended her young life. Not long ago, she had been a dancer at a renowned opera house, but a misstep had twisted her ankle, cutting short her promising future. To keep her dream of dancing alive, she soaked her injured ankle in ice to numb the pain. Still, audition after audition ended in failure. One day, she received a callback from a major company, but the interviewer recognized her immediately, and still asked her to repeat the same faulty move. The girl gritted her teeth and endured the pain, repeating it over and over again, until her ankle broke once more. Upon hearing that the girl's family raised pigs in the countryside, an investor made her crawl on the floor and squeal like a pig in exchange for a chance. The girl laughed in disbelief. She was willing to do anything for her dream, except sell her dignity. Because of the intense pain earlier, she increased her dosage of painkillers. As she walked out the door, the side effects kicked in. She collapsed and vomited on the floor. Fortunately, a couple came to her aid. Once she recovered, they even shared food with her. After learning about her difficult situation, they offered her a free room in their apartment. On her first day moving in, the wife invited her to a party. Carl, the host of the Grand Opera House, would be attending. The girl naturally wouldn't miss such a chance. But when she arrived at the party, only she and Carl were there. It was clear that the couple had arranged this opportunity for her. After a few drinks, her consciousness began to blur. It felt like a vivid dream, in which she emerged from her cocoon and became a true dancer. Yet, every step she took felt choreographed by someone else. In the end, a black cloth was placed over her eyes. What had been a beautiful dream slowly turned into a nightmare. The girl took off her clothes and noticed that her body was covered in bruises. There were even scratch marks on her thighs. That night, in a daze, she seemed to have been violated, but it was also because of that incident that she was able to join the dance troupe. When Mrs. Gianni from next door heard about what had happened, she brought the girl a family ointment. As long as she kept applying it regularly, it would completely cure her bone disease. That night, the girl was once again pulled into a terrifying dream. She slowly got out of bed, and suddenly realized that her ankle no longer hurt. Mrs. Gianni's ointment really worked. Without the burden of injury, the girl's performance became increasingly perfect, even earning the admiration of the director. The Teddy couple gifted her a mink coat for Christmas. As the girl admired herself in the mirror, she looked down, and thought she was hallucinating from drinking too much. Then a wave of nausea hit her, and she couldn't stop retching. After getting checked, she discovered she was pregnant, but she didn't want to lose the opportunity to perform in the stage play because of the pregnancy. As soon as she got home, the couple had already learned the news from the doctor. Furious that the doctor had leaked her privacy, she said she would get an abortion the next day, but the couple brought her directly to another room, where all kinds of baby items were neatly placed. Their biggest regret in life was not having a child. They told her that as long as she gave birth to the baby, they would use all their resources to help her achieve her dream. The girl couldn't resist the temptation. From that point on, she was plagued by nightmares every night, often dreaming of people surrounding her, performing some kind of evil ritual. The performance date drew closer, and the dance troupe's training grew more intense. The lead actress suddenly twisted her ankle, then collapsed in the next moment, her body cramping in a bizarre posture, her expression filled with pain. As expected, the girl replaced her as the lead in the performance. To better match the role's appearance, she cut off the long hair she had kept for years. Tonight was the final rehearsal before the official show. After this, she would finally stand on that stage, bathed in the spotlight. But, could things really be that simple? The girl had only been pregnant for 2 months, but her belly was already as big as if she were 8 months along. A baby's face slowly began to appear on her stomach. When she looked back at the mirror, that eerie scene had vanished. She immediately called the doctor. Strangely, the doctor showed no concern about her physical condition, but instead questioned whether she had any thoughts of harming the baby. Realizing something was off about the doctor, she quickly hung up the phone. Then she found that red book again, and discovered even more things that had appeared in her dreams. She finally realized she might be caught in a conspiracy, so she packed her bags, ready to leave. At the theater, she found information about the previous tenant, Joan. Inside the box Joan had left behind, there was a black Bible, but the moment she picked it up, her hand was burned by it, as if something inside her was resisting it. To find answers, she went into a church, but as she got closer to the statue of God, her belly started to ache violently again. She pleaded for help from a nun. When the nun saw the red book in her hands, she was shocked, because it was actually the Bible of a cult. It turned out the building she lived in was a legendary gathering place for a cult. They had once successfully summoned a demon, and left behind an offspring. It was said that, if a suitable vessel could be found, the demon could return to the human world, and the previous girl had come to confess, but she later died in a car accident. At this point, Her belly ached again. She finally realized the gravity of her situation, so she went to a black market clinic to get rid of the baby. But during the procedure, she lost control and kicked the doctor away. The next moment, the doctor's body twisted unnaturally, as if some invisible force was controlling his limbs. Seeing this, the two of them quickly fled. She realized the only way to resolve everything was to return to the building and face it all bravely.